Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a brand new Around the Ground. Today I'm here in the birthplace of the radio, the once capital of England, Chelmsford, to see their football team Chelmsford City FC take on Chippenham Town in the National League South this afternoon. As usual, I'll be taking a look around their home, the Melbourne Stadium, and interviewing their manager Robbie Simpson. But first, let's take a look around their near 150-year history. Chelmsford FC was formed in 1878 by members of the Chelmsford Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club. There's something to do in the winter. They won the Essex Senior Cup, Middlesex County League, East Anglian Cup and much more, whilst moving between and founding various different leagues. However, in 1938, the club shut down before reopening as Chelmsford City FC, a professional club, in order to join the Southern League. They made an immediate impact, reaching the fourth round of the FA Cup in their first season and winning the Southern League and the Cup upon returning from a break due to World War II. They tried to get into the Football League, but unfortunately never made it. In 2004, the club transferred to the Premier Division of the Isthmian League and won it in 2008, earning promotion to the National League South, which is where they play today. As I said, their home ground is the Melbourne Stadium, currently known as the EMG Inspire Stadium due to a sponsorship deal. The ground was moved into by the club in 2004 and seats 1,300 with a maximum capacity of 3,000. However, this was broken in 2008 when the club played AFC Wimbledon in front of a record crowd of 3,201. The stadium features a modern but homely and welcoming clubhouse. Inside you can find several TVs showing Sky Sports, a bar and lots of artefacts on the walls such as programmes, shirts, photos and newspaper articles. Outside you can find a matchday programme and purchase all of the latest memorabilia, from scarves and woolly hats to shirts and shorts. So as usual we got some food. My dad's got the claret burger, so there's pulled pork, onion, cheese burger, all that. I've got just a normal steak burger. Say normal, it still looks massive. And I saw these on Twitter, Footy Scran. Probably most of you have already seen that page. Chili cheese chips. So let's tuck into this, looks really good. And it was only about £20 for all of this, including the drink. Just after 3 o'clock, the players were out and we kicked off. There was a few good shots like this one, but they all went in the keeper's hands. There are also a few long strikes like this that ended up in the crowd. And finally the deadlock was broken in the 29th minute when Sheringham had the ball in the back of the net and it was 1-0 to Chelmsford. However, celebrations were cut short as the linesman chalked it off for handball. They're checking this goal for Chelmsford. And it's been ruled off, still 0-0. Occasionally throughout the game, Chelmsford's players kept making runs like this, passing through several players before putting the ball into the box for it to only be headed away by a defender, caught by the keeper or missed. Just before half-time, Chippenham Town had a free kick, which was then headed away, starting a counter-attack. Somehow this was not a foul, but after looking at the replay, I can confirm that the defender for Chippenham Town never touched the ball. And that was that for the first half, 0-0. Straight into the second half, I saw quite a few misses like this one. I actually felt that Chippenham were quite dirty today, as you can see by challenges like this. And finally, after ages, the referee finally took off his blue shirt and showed a defender a yellow card.
Stop moaning, mate, get on with it!
However, the free kick led to absolutely nothing. Here's another miss that is painful to watch. And I'm not going to even say anything about this situation because I have no idea what's going on.
Right, it's cheap, that's easy for you, isn't it? Get up, quick! Yeah, miracle! Fucking red!
And that was all for the full 90, 0-0. Joining me now is first club chairman Steve Shaw and then first team manager Robbie Simpson. So how did you become the chairman of Chelmsford City?
Oh, it's a long story. So the club got into a bit of trouble 4 years ago now. The previous people who were running it kind of weren't able to raise the funds to keep the club going, and a business associate of mine or friend of mine basically was asked to help out. He kind of helped out. At the time he said, I don't really have, football's never something I've followed. Is it something you'd like to look at? So I said, yeah, sure. So 4 years ago, he kind of said, right, go and run the football club then. So yeah, we put a lot of money. He's put a lot of money in. So that's why we're here. And I think that's what we're trying to do here. I think the challenge for a lot of football clubs these days is to be able to stay and survive and be sustainable. So we want to put Chelmsford City on the map. But also make it financially viable so that it does have a future. It's not at risk of going under, as many clubs at many levels as you're seeing at the moment, even with Derby, are.
Have you had experience of football before?
Absolutely none. Absolutely none. The nearest I came was, my local team was Rotherham United. So as a kid growing up, I went to see them a few times. I also went to Sheffield Wednesday, but that was on the back of the fact that my uncle worked with one of the players' sisters, so we got free tickets. But absolutely none. And I think I came here and everybody, I'm an accountant, so whether you should ever get accountants running business, people say never. But I'm therefore focused on the numbers and can we make something that's financially viable? I see football as a business, and I think everybody says you can't do that, football's different. And I'm like, why? You've still got to make money or at least break even to enable you to continue. Unless you've got people who are prepared to put the money in perpetuity and keep the club going.
You say you do accounting, the manager, he's quite heavily involved in financing. Do you think that makes your club sort of more responsible or better with money than other clubs?
I do. I think I think we're focused on it, having a manager who's very financially aware. We're very conscious on our budgets. He always tells me I'm always going to come in under budget, but we have sensible conversations. When I was we changed managers, and when we were looking at new managers, I only ever asked them two questions. So I always ask them, how much money do you think you need to be successful at this level, and how much money do you want? And it was because I think part of the philosophy is, well, what's my budget? I'm like, well, you tell me how much you need. I'm trying to turn the tables a little bit so that, they kind of take responsibility. So we talk all the time, I've got this, and he knows if he needs some more money to support the club, then he just has to ask. And if we need it to stay up and do stuff, then we'll make the funds available. But he's massively behind it. About 3 years ago, we came up with a thing called the Claret's 10 Vision, which is about where do we take this club over the next 10 years. We both buy into that. What you'll see is for us, it's about developing youth and developing our own talent, creating pathways for the youth section to come through and play for the first team. So you saw Reggie come on today. You know, Reggie played in our youth section. He played in our FA Youth Cup. He's come through our system, played in our reserves, and he's come there. Edwino, our left winger, left back, he started, he's come up from the reserves 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. He's playing in the reserves. The reserves guy, we've got this great left back, fantastic, bring him on, we signed him, you know, and he's doing a great job.
So you're really trying to build a younger team then?
Absolutely. You know, what do we have? We had three players over 24 today out there on the pitch, but I think one 24-year-old. You know, you talk to people. The one that makes me laugh is that Louis Dunn, who was out there today. Louis, at the end of training, they play youngsters against olders and middles. And Louis said, "I'm 22 and I'm in the middles." And Cameron James turned to him and said, "You think that's bad?" He said, "I'm 24 and I'm in the olds." So it's all, you know, that's definitely where we're going.
And do you feel that is the future of English football? You've seen lots of bigger teams as well, like Arsenal, for example, going with younger squads.
Definitely. What I really think is the future of English football is, you know, I almost want to say some of those Premiership teams, stop hoovering up all the young talent and playing them against kids against kids. Get them out here, get them into football at this level, playing grassroots football against men. You know, because actually that's where they're going to learn. You know, we've got three on loan at the moment, and I hope they stay, because I think they're learning and I think they're developing their skills, because they don't have the time on the ball. It's not always about the perfect cross to the feet of another player. It's about scrapping and getting out there, and it's going in hard, and it's playing men's football, and that's what will happen when they get there. You know, and I think grassroots and National League football is the starting ground for the next group of England players. If you look at when England win the Euros last season, it was interesting that they put where at grassroots did all those players play, and they've all played at grassroots because they learn a craft. You know, and what we've done here is surrounded them by really experienced players. So I have 2 UEFA A coaches, 2 UEFA B coaches, you know, in my squad here. So Robbie himself's a UEFA, you know, Mickey's a UEFA coach. And what that is about, and they played at the highest level, you know, and that's what and so they're able to pass on that massive experience to both the first team, but also our academy. Our academy is run by Mickey and Elliot Ward, who play for West Ham. You know, who's on his way to UEFA A. And so I think that you're treating them not just about playing football, but all aspects of football. You know, they constantly turn to me and say, you know, sometimes other clubs rile you, and they go, "We do our talking on the pitch. You know, that's where we win. That's how we prove that what we're doing is the right thing to do."
So what do you make of today's performance, and how important now do you think it is to get 3 points in the next few games?
I think the performance was very good. I felt like we were deserving to go in at half time in the lead. I felt like we were a little bit robbed of a goal, and then the second half was a bit more even, but they didn't really have any chances, and we got in good areas without creating clear-cut chances. Maybe one where Cameron James should hit the target at least. Overall, I think it was a tough game, really competitive game against the team that's in the playoffs, and I felt like we just shaded it. I felt like if we'd have won 1-0 today, I don't think anyone would have had any complaints. And yeah, in terms of getting 3 points in the next few games, of course, we always try and get 3 points, absolutely always. And we feel like if we perform well, more often than not, the 3 points will come, the victories will come. And we haven't quite got what we've deserved in the last probably 4 games. And we need to try and find a way to get over the line and get those 3 points that we've been deserving. And we'll certainly be looking to do that next week.
Now, going back a couple of years, I was reading an interview that you've done about coming into doing a player sort of manager role here, and I believe you weren't too, not happy on it, but you were a bit reluctant at first. So how have you ended up being a player manager?
Yeah, well, when I first came, I came here to play, you know, to continue me playing on the pitch for at least a couple, maybe 3 years. So it came unexpectedly. But once I took interim charge and probably had a few games getting a taste for it and adjusting and balancing the demands of this job with my other jobs, I felt like it was something that I could do and something that I'd enjoy, and I certainly am enjoying it. I love working with our players every week, and Chelmsford is an absolutely fantastic club and a great city with a great vision, and I'm really keen to be part of that.
And when you were moved from player to player manager, did you feel you had to get a bit more respect in the dressing room, or were you already sort of a high profile character?
Yeah, I think I already had a level of respect there from what I've done in the game as a player, but also how I carried myself, especially towards the latter end of my career. Obviously here as a player I was one of the eldest in the changing room that I felt like the players respected and listened to. So in that respect it was actually quite easy taking over as manager, because they had that instant kind of rapport with me on that front.
And how often do you find yourself on the pitch these days?
Well, I brought myself on last week for the first time this season. I picked up a bit of a knee injury playing for the reserves right at the very start of the season, which was quite a bad one, and it set me back a good few months. But I'm back fully fit now. I trained on Thursday with the lads and let Mickey take the session, so it's great to have Mickey there to support me in that sense, and he delivered that session the way I wanted it to be done. And yeah, I guess it's my decision as a manager whether to pick myself or not.
And you mentioned you've got other jobs, of course, at this level. I believe you do some things in money and financing.
Yeah.
Do you have a role at this club in terms of money as well? Are you involved in the money side of things? And if not, would you like to be?
I'm not, no, other than managing the budget the chairman's given me. Other than doing that and making sure I'm keeping under that, I don't have any input into other ways they spend money or bringing money into the club, no. And to be honest, I'll always help out if they ask me to, but I'm so busy with my other careers that I just wouldn't have time to add anything else on.
Well, we finally arrived home, and that is the end of yet another Around the Ground, and I really hope you have enjoyed watching. Of course, thank you so much to Andrew, the media manager at Chelmsford City, for arranging the 2 interviews today, and thank you so much to Robbie and Steve for agreeing to do them themselves. If you did enjoy, please make sure to like, subscribe, share and comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.